Stevens knows all about this. This is your business, helping people kind of establish who they are and sell that to others. So Peggy, kind of walk us through some of the steps of a successful interview, starting with your personal brand.
Sure. Well, when you think of the big brands like Nike and Coke, you think of the experience you've had with those, and sometimes they're positive and sometimes they're negative, but you can always describe those brands. Very similar, that's right, and very similar to your personal brand. It's the experience someone's had with you and how they describe you professionally.
Okay, so you have to keep in mind that somebody's going to brand you.
That's right.
And you have to control how they do it.
Exactly.
All right, when you start to do this, communication is key. So how do you communicate effectively with people?
Well, I think the most important thing in communicating during an interview, let's say, is really understanding the culture of the company you're going to interview for. And also, everyone walks in with their resume, with all their credentials, their degrees on the resume, but they haven't taken the time sometimes to really write what I call sound bites in each of the areas that they've either worked in or gone to school to prepare and almost script what you want to say during an interview.
When they ask you, tell me about when you did this job, know how you're going to present it.
That's right. Be Johnny on the spot, be able to answer it articulately.
What kind of role do presentation skills play in an interview?
Presentation skills play a huge role, and I don't consider presentation skills just when you get up in front of an audience. Presentation skills can be one-on-one in how smooth you present yourself, you know, kind of that one snapshot of your full image, how you enter a room, how you sit, you know, your comfort level, your ease. All of these things help to present your brand.
All right, nonverbal gestures. A lot of times we don't think about these, and I tend to be a person who stands like this, right. But I realize that that tells people I'm very closed off, so I have to consciously not stand with my arms crossed like I don't care what you're saying.
That's right.
Even though that's comfortable for me.
Absolutely comfortable for a lot of people, but you have to be careful, and I like to call this micro-messaging, because the way you carry yourself in nonverbal gestures, I have two simple rules. I have open and I have closed. And if you're closed during an interview with your arms crossed, your body turned to the side, your feet tightly, you know, crossed, it looks either nervous, uptight, or you don't want anything to do with them. So you want to stay very open, relaxed in your chair with your arms on top or in your lap.
You're sending a message whether you realize it or not.
That's right.
Work-life purpose, how does this play into finding a job?
Well, work-life purpose is very important because how you balance your life is how you're going to balance work. And so if you can be articulate again during an interview and really take a step back, and I like to say take the helicopter view of your life and write on a pie chart almost how you spend your time, and then aspirationally how you'd like to spend your time. If you need to cut back in a certain area or add community service, you know, all of these things really balance out so that you can explain this during an interview of how you like to spend your time with extracurricular activities.
Finally, a lot of people on their interviews might be taken out to lunch or to dinner, and etiquette plays a huge role. What should people do to make sure that they are following protocol, that their etiquette is correct?
You know, many interviews, actually I have a gentleman that's interviewing this week over lunch. And the most important thing to remember during an etiquette interview when you're dining anywhere, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's not about the food. It's about the conversation. So you want to be careful on what you order to make sure it's very manageable to eat, that you can carry on the conversation, follow the lead of your host to see when they order, what they order, so that you can almost mirror, and it'll be very manageable for you to have a discussion.
All right, as one of my coworkers once said, when you go for an interview, the person interviewing you figures that's the best impression you can leave.
Absolutely.
So don't leave anything out there. I mean, that's what they're going to remember. That's as good as it gets, and it probably will only go down from there. Peggy can help you out. She's got a book that will help you figure all of this out.